Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Golf Chat Show live. Golf is back. This time last week when I was joined with Andrew, this is one of your favourite guests on the show. We were speculating what Boris would say an hour later on, and now we're here. You must have played every single day I've been seeing.
Not every day, but I've played a lot, yeah. But I've played a lot of 9 holes and 13 holes and stuff. It's been fantastic. I mean, you and I were speculating what the Prime Minister was going to say, weren't we? Will he not? Will he open? I mean, the people in Scotland and Wales must be, really frustrated. But yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. And within 2 days, everybody had mobilised themselves and got themselves sorted. It was brilliant.
I was honestly surprised that what he said. I think he sort, and this is what I think, in kind of my opinion. I thought he sort of meant you could go and kick a ball around the field and do a bit more running, run for a bit longer. But where you said it, you opened Pandora's box, and we were like, right, let's go, have it.
Yeah, and when he first said, that you could only play golf with somebody from the same household, I thought, oh no, that's terrible, because like you're going to play on your own. I'm going to play on my own. I don't want to do that. Rather than not play, not quite, but you know what I mean. And then the following day, of course, I jumped on Twitter. So we have loads of other people saying, it's ridiculous. And sure enough, the 50-page document the following day, of course, illustrated a few more details and allowed us to play with friends. So it's been great, yeah.
Yeah, I bet it's been nice, hasn't it? I played with a friend last night. It was, if I'm honest, I played terrible. But it was just nice to get out and actually see the ball go past the net in the garden.
Yeah, I have to say, I played Didsbury the first day. So Wednesday, I don't even know what time, lunchtime-ish, I think. And, it was just a treat to get out. The way the signage was done was perfectly simple, easy to follow, one way, car park, one way to the first tee, said hello to the pro, and then off we went, and it was absolutely fine. They've got a small practice ground there is open. The one net of the two is open, and the big practice ground was open as well. I did it a few shots before we started, which was even better. And I think really important that clubs sort of get used to that idea, and one or two shine away from practice facilities, but just open them up slowly and give people a better chance to warm up before they go out. So it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Good. I mean, what was that whole experience like? Because you've been consulting for some golf clubs in the area.
Yeah.
So from your experience as a golfer, maybe not down the consulting route, but your experience as a golfer, what was it like turning up at the golf club? Because usually we turn up, we go as a pro, you go into the pro shop, see the pro, have a bit of a chin wag, go for a coffee usually. What was it like doing it completely different?
Yeah, it was weird, but I think we'd been talking about the whole thing and the whole process for so long.
Yeah,
I was perfectly familiar with it, probably more familiar with it than my pal was, who literally had not a lot of input in anything. At least I knew that it was going to be one way here, and we were going to get off the 18th green going this way and avoiding the pinch point of the first tee and the patio area. I'm talking of Didsbury now, not other courses. And it worked really, really well, I'd have to say. It was a bit weird. It was a bit disappointing not be able to go in for a beer or not to go in for a cup of tea or anything. But you know what? It was just tiptoeing its way towards a little bit more of normality, perhaps. I mean, let's fingers crossed. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But everybody seems to be handling it brilliantly well in slightly different ways too. Didsbury's handling it slightly different than Lim's handling it slightly differently than Delamere. And I'm dead lucky I played at all three this last week. So it's been
You've actually lived the dream.
Well, I am living the dream, you're right.
So what was Delamere like? If you're from the Manchester area, it's known as kind of one of the best, isn't it, in the Northwest?
Yeah, I think there's no question. It's certainly one of the best inland courses, certainly in the Northwest. It's playing very short. It's very crispy brown. It's already built on nearly 1,000 foot of sand, so it never struggles in that way. It's always firm and fast, or mostly. And this weather, we've had, I think, 7 millimeters of rain in 2.5 months or something. So yeah, it's crazy. And we've gone from one extreme to the other, haven't we? So Delamere is running very fast. The greens are really, really nice. A bit slow, if you could criticise, but then we're not going to criticise because they need to leave a bit of growth on them. and they need to have a bit of growth. So the guys there, Andy's managing it brilliantly. It looks a picture. I quite like it fast and runny. It's tricky. It's a bit more linksy. But it's playing very short. I played with Tom last night, the night before, and he hit it 55 or 65 yards off the first flag, which is 400 and God knows 60 yards or something. It was ridiculous, but it was a bit down breeze even so. But it was just a treat to be out. Absolutely.
So in terms of what were the holes like? Because when I played on yesterday, I can't even think of the day then, we had little bits of foam at the bottom of the cup, but I've seen other clubs have got those like fancy contraptions, others have got the hole just upside down. There's loads of different things, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Didsbury and Lim are using the hole covers, so the whole the NHS supporting the NHS covers, which are really nice. I think they work perfectly well for me. It makes the hole shallower, obviously. It does bounce out very occasionally, but for the type of golf we're playing at the moment, it's fine, absolutely fine. Those work well. At Delamere, they've got the cups upside down. They're all bright and clean and nice, of course. And the cup, obviously, is a shallower cup again. I think I prefer that route than the covers myself. But those contraptions are great as long as you don't try and flick the lever up with the face of the putter or with the putter itself, because I've seen some putters marked on the top.
Yeah.
Like that. But listen, anything. Let's just get playing and not see the negatives, I'd say. Slowly.
So how did you play? Come on, how did you play?
Actually, I played all right, really. Yeah, I didn't play great the first day. I played okay. I didn't play great, but I played okay. Hit some good shots, hit a couple of slightly scruffy tee shots. But I generally play sort of moderately all right. With Tom, and then I played Delamere, and then I played Delamere. I played Lim the other night, and I played decent again. And then Delamere with Tom, I was decidedly average and about 5 down after 6.
I like to say that's not surprising. But
well, it isn't a surprise, is it really? I won the 8th of the 3, and that was about my but it was just nice to see the ball hit properly and hit more like a proper pro than more like mine anyway. It was great, yeah. It was, and you know what? Everyone's been very civilized. Everyone's playing quickly. The gaps are not compressed on the golf course that I've found out so far. So everybody's saying, it's great to play so quick. Ought we to play in 2 balls all the time? There's a fair amount of that happening.
Yeah.
But I think I'd prefer to play in 3s or 4s myself. It's nice playing in 2s, but not all the time. But so clubs will adopt their own for their own members, won't they?
Yeah, exactly. So Andy Roberts actually put a comment here saying, having played twice over the weekend, it was brilliant to get back out. More so, both rounds were in 2 balls and took no longer than 3 hours. Surely this has to be the way forward for clubs. We've just sort of speculated on that there, haven't we?
Yeah, listen, Andy's actually at Lim, isn't he? So I don't think that's the way forward. But listen, 2 balls at 10-minute intervals isn't getting that many people around the golf course.
No.
We've got to accept that. And it's okay now when we've got the light until 8:30. So 2 balls at 10 minutes would be fantastic in the ideal world. I know at Monterey started off at 15-minute intervals way back, 8 years ago when Monterey was born in Portugal, and it was a treat because you'd never got on top of anybody. But of course, it doesn't allow that many people to play. And when you've got 120 people wanting to play golf, you're not going to get them round in 2 balls, when the light goes one side of the day or the other. So great at the moment, and the weather's been fantastic, hasn't it? I mean, it's just been great to get out.
Now the sun's back out.
I know. It's a glorious evening, isn't it? And so Andy's got a point. I don't think there's any question about that. And the other thing is, the gender stuff. I know that he's got a big thing about making golf clubs a bit more gender neutral and being members of a golf club.
Yeah.
Didsbury 15 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, maybe. Didsbury became the first in this area anyway that became a golf club, and you were a member of the golf club. You weren't a member of the ladies section or the men's section. You were a member of the golf club. Lee, I know that you played recently. It's a bit the same, and I think the private clubs have got to adopt a little bit of this attitude. There's no question, otherwise they're not going to survive.
No, 100%. And if we're going to attract new people, people can't play in the week sometimes
Yeah.
when traditionally ladies' day is.
Yeah, and there are some people of some clubs are very, very anti it, and I understand that. You know, it's not for everybody, but I would say that there's more going to adopt that attitude with the changes that are being made now than maybe 8 weeks ago when we were pre-COVID, really. So I think this will actually force change on not just my business, your business. It'll force change on golf clubs' business as well, the way they go about recruiting and everything else.
So, I think, and this is my opinion, if we're in 2 balls, why can't we do 3 or 4 balls? Because if we're going to social distance anyway, we can get more people on the golf course. We can still keep 10-minute intervals or whatever it might be. But if we're, for example, say, imagine I'm playing with one person in my household, so we're a 2. And then, for example, you and Tom, imagine you're in the same household. I don't see, for me, the issue with doing that. That's a 4 ball. And really, we're only at the same risk of being in the same household as both of us. And if we socially distance, why does that matter again?
I don't think it does. I think that clubs are just getting into this process of shepherding people. You know, we've just done a little video actually at Lim as literally a 1.5 minute video, which I think we'll put out on social media, which we did yesterday. I've seen the finished article, and it's great because it's got people arriving in car parks and leaving a space between. Yeah. It's got me saying no, don't hold the flag when somebody went to pick it up. It's got us distancing, moving away at a driver, arm's length on a driver, distance away from each other, which is a good guide. And those visuals are much more easily taken in by a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's been quite good crack doing that. And I think as clubs get into this one-way traffic and, all that stuff, it will calm down a little bit. We will get less COVID-itis. Is that a word? No, it's not.
It is now.
You know what I mean? I think we'll get a little bit less intense about the whole thing, hopefully, as the infection and the R rate goes down. But we've just got to be respectful at the moment. We don't want another spike. Let's just go about it slowly. And I no doubt we'll be on 4s, before the end of the year, I'd like to think anyway.
Yeah.
And getting back into social golf and hopefully clubhouses beginning to open. There's loads of things that I think that the clubs can still do. They're a bit nervous. Everyone's a bit nervous. I'd have to say, everyone's a bit, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're nervous about the tee times. They're nervous about, where do they put the trolleys? And we've been very specific at Lim with the trolley signs. We've got trolley signs at 2 meters apart. Part this your trolley here and my trolley there, or bag or whatever. And people just need to be have the handheld round it for a bit, and then hopefully as clubs open, maybe they'll start putting buggy bars out and maybe take away refreshments and making some revenue, because everybody needs to make some revenue. Don't forget that clubs aren't making any. All we're doing is opening the courses for the members.
Yeah,
we need new members to come in. We need visitors to play courses, and we need revenue behind the bar or behind the buggy bar or whatever we're going to do.
Now, is it a rule that clubs aren't allowed visitors, or is that just what clubs are choosing to do at the minute?
I think they're choosing to do at the moment. I think most clubs are choosing to, for the first week or so. I know there are plans at Didsbury over the next week and the week after. Then I think what we'll do is create some slots for visitors, because we're getting phone calls for people to play. The argument is that some people have said, "Can we play?" No, it's members only. All right, how much is it to join? And they've come down and joined. So we've 10 new members this last few days that might not have joined if they'd been able to pay a visitor's fee. Now, that's not saying that that's a God-given, but I think we ought to be beginning to allow slots of tee times now between 9 and 10 and 3 and 4. Visitors can book start times if they so desire, or half an hour tee times. The clubs can decide for themselves. I know that 1 or 2 don't need them, don't want them at the moment, because of the whole pinch point stuff and contact points and stuff. And 1 or 2 clubs are starting competitions already, aren't they?
Really?
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
No, there you go. Hot off the press.
Look at that, straight off the press, everybody.
One of the clubs that I'm very close to. I've got a competition. In fact, I'm playing at 240 next Saturday. Now, I don't agree with that particularly. The fact that they're doing it and why they're doing it. Are they doing it for the right reasons? Is everybody ready for it? How does the rake and place go in the bunker? What happens if one of my, like I had yesterday, a ball hit that cup liner and just literally trickled out the other side? It was definitely in.
Yeah.
No question about it. It wasn't too hard or anything else. It was definitely in the hole and it bounced straight out. Is that counted or is it not counted? You know, all those things. The bunker raking thing is a bit of a nightmare because who's going to rake it, you know, better? You're going to have a plug lie and then you're going to give yourself a better lie. I don't think we ought to be playing comps for a month. Let's just calm down.
I agree on that note. We've just got a few more questions in here from YouTube. James Cunningham, but I'm assuming you need to leave the flag in for now. Do you think that it may become more prevalent down the road for regular playing golf going forward? It speeds up play, and that will just be what it is. And I know the rule is how you can leave it in, but maybe that will just become the norm.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it's worked all right. There's been some studies, hasn't there, over this last year or so, that more putts go in than don't with the flag in. So, you know, I think I think that will, whether it speeds up play, I don't know. But listen, anything that speeds up play is good, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
If that's the one thing that we do, then that's great. It certainly stops people chucking it on the greens. That really annoys me if they throw it on a green and stuff. But yeah, it's funny how you get into a habit. I've been to take the flag out.
I did that, and I was like, Alex, what are you doing? I literally got to about there. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah. So yeah, listen, let's let every club will tiptoe their way around this, and I think that's the best way of doing it. Some will be slightly irritating about it. Some will be okay. I'd just like to. It's nice to get out coaching again. By the way, in terms of you and I, what you and I do, it'd be nice to go into mini groups. I'd like to do some junior coaching at a distance, and I could definitely do some junior coaching at a distance, and the kids would be fantastic. One person picks the balls up, and that's it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not allowed to do that. So I'm doing one or two one-to-ones and a couple of playing lessons and stuff. So it'll just everyone will get a little bit more confident, I think.
That's the thing, isn't it? People at the minute are, like you said before, very cautious, not confident in it, worried. And I think, like you say, golf clubs will be as well, because the last thing that they want is for somebody to get it. Well, it'd be hard to say as a result of being there if they'd been to, say, the shops or anything like that. But
yeah,
they'd hate for it to be traced through a golf club.
Yeah, and that's what everyone's frightened of, aren't they?
Definitely.
We've got to be seen to be doing the right thing. We've got to be doing the right thing. We've got to be seen to be doing the right thing. And we've got to cover all bases. And some will cover all bases more than others, just like any other business, I guess.
So another question here from Matthew Bennett. He said, a few clubs near me put on their website 3 phases of opening. Number 1, members only. Number 2, pay and play customers. And then number 3, on the driving ranges. And hopefully this phase won't take too long. Now, with driving ranges, I saw one that, I'm not going to name it, near us is open. And I was surprised at this. They did have every other bay marked off, but you still have to go and get the tokens from inside the shop and scan it. Now, I don't know. It's interesting.
I'm not going to diss anything. Listen, if people have satisfied themselves with their own procedures, you've got to trust them. If you feel that you go there and you feel unsafe, then you're probably not going to go there again, or you walk away, don't you?
Yeah.
If the people are protected, either by a screen or wearing protective PPE, then I don't know. Some people are, some people aren't. You go in the supermarket, not everyone's wearing a face cloth mask, are they? So, you know, who knows where you're going to get it from. The garden centre, I've been to a garden centre today up the road. You had to sanitize the trolley. You had to take a trolley. You had to go on a one-way system through and take your time and stay 2 meters from behind the guy that was really, really slow in front of me, pontificating about what he was buying. I just needed one thing. I knew what I wanted, but I had to just be patient. And I think golf is no different. You know, if we don't feel, we've just got to be tiptoeing. I keep using the phrase, but just going slowly. I don't see the problem with driving ranges out in the open air. Every other bay, you're not within 2 meters of anybody swinging. So one would have thought that was an okay thing. I think practice grounds are okay. The practice ground Didsbury's pretty big. We've marked off 4 bays. We've said only 4 people on there at once. Probably very rare we get more than 4 people on anyway. Lim, they're going to look at it. I think Delamere's practice facilities open. Although you've got a book at the far facility, I think, and you're only allowed there for half an hour, which is fine, isn't it?
Yeah, that gives everybody a chance.
A few putts on the putting green. Not everybody wants to do that anyway, so fine.
So where are you playing this week then?
Well, I'm playing this week. This week's escapades, I'll be playing at Lim again, for sure. Lim's a terrific nick, I have to say. I would say that, wouldn't I suppose. But no, it is really, really nice nick. They've had a bit of trouble with leather jackets underneath the surface of the greens, so the crows are going at the leather jacket larvae. And the same at Delamere. I'll be playing at Lim, Delamere and Didsbury, I think. And I'd like to think I might just get a game at Stockport.
Very nice.
I don't know. It's members only at the moment. I do know some members, so I don't know whether I might have a slide down there if I get an invite from Nigel or somebody like that.
I'm sure you'll get an invite.
You don't know, do you? It's just giving everybody a chance. This mad rush, you couldn't get on, couldn't you? I mean, today at Delamere today, with 10 minutes, there was still people going off when I left. I left at 5 o'clock, 4:45. There was full tea time until 5 o'clock.
Crazy. So, I mean, it's great. Like loads of people playing.
Absolutely terrific, yeah. And there's a lot of people on furlough leave. I don't know if today's Sunday, but a lot of people on furlough leave as well. So through the week, there's equal number of busy tee sheets as well. It's great.
Yeah, no, my dad's at Bramall and he showed me the sheet on his phone, and it was like you could the only tee time was like 7:30 in the morning. This is tomorrow, and then like 5 at night, and like the whole day is blocked off. Only in 2 balls, like you say, it is a lot of people. It's not that many people, but it's unbelievable. You never get that much today.
No, it's great. I have to say, I saw the Instagram post that Bramall did with Bronte Law. I thought that was a really clever thing. I know Bronte Law is associated down there. She was a junior member, etc., etc. She's obviously holding up over here rather than in America with her folks, I assume. And they got her to hit the first tee shot at 7:30 on Wednesday morning. I thought that was really cool.
Nice that.
Very cool. And I think Tommy Fleetwood not hit it off with the captain at Sandyway as well?
I don't know. I'm not seen that one.
I think he did, yeah. I'm not absolutely 100% sure. I'm more or less sure he did, yeah.
Oh, class.
Yeah, really good.
Doesn't he live local to that?
Yeah, he plays quite a bit there in Delamere, but I think he plays more Sandyway than Delamere. But yeah, he's big pals with the people up there, so that's good. Great stuff.
So moving on to PGA Tour, I've seen that any golfers that aren't living in the US, they've got to quarantine before they play.
Yeah.
There's also going to be chartered planes taking each PGA Tour player to a tournament. Like, if you still got, does that mean they're going to basically say, right, you players on the tour are going to go in this plane, you're going to go in that plane, and then if you all get it, one person gets it, you guys all can't play?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what the procedures are, but I know, and I don't think this is a secret particularly, but I know that the European Tour are looking at testing everybody a week before they play, testing people as they arrive at the venue, and then keeping them in the same hotel, shipping them out from that hotel to a golf course, and then playing the round and then back again. No courtesy cars. You're in your own vehicle, every man for himself. I don't know whether caddies, there's a move that caddies aren't going to be allowed on the European Challenge Tour, but caddies on the main tour. But whether they stay with a player, that's the other thing. Does the caddy and the player stay as one? Don't know. Details to be announced. But, the first live golf for however long is on tonight, isn't it, with Rory and co. In the States. I saw something from Lee Westwood today, wasn't it? Lee Westwood, I think, was on 5 Live talking about he's not going to go and quarantine for however many days before he goes out to America for 2 weeks for 2 tournaments, and then comes back again with the chance that he might have to quarantine coming back again. So
it comes back in. You've got to quarantine for 14 days over here.
So I think did he say going out? It takes him 6 weeks to play 2 tournaments. Is that
Yeah,
right?
something along those lines.
But yeah. So and he's gonna choose not to do that because he's in the top 50 in the world. He's exempt from those 2 tournaments. He's going to choose not to do it. Now, how many other people are going to choose not to do that? I would suggest plenty.
Yeah, but that could open the door to a lot of people.
It'll open the door for a lot of other opportunities for lesser players, and then all of a sudden, you're going to get a new name that wouldn't have otherwise been in the tournament. So for those guys, great. For the quality of the field, maybe not so great. But listen, it's a bit like the Premier League, isn't it? It's slowly. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do the Premier League, but they think they can, and they think they can do the PGA Tour, and they think they can play the European Tour. So there's a massive cost implication in terms of testing and logistics. Massive. Shipping this circus of however many people they're going to have, 1,000 people, I think it is. They're looking at to run a tournament with players, caddies, 156 players, 156 caddies, doctors, officials, etc.
So
no lost balls. What about lost balls? That's the other thing. No crowd to protect, to go looking for the ball.
Put it this way: there'll be a few different scores than we would usually get. Head going back onto the fairway.
Yeah, that's right.
You mentioned a point on just live sport. I actually watched it yesterday, the Bundesliga. It was the weirdest thing ever watching footballers score a goal and just stood there like, keep 2 meters away. But this is what I don't get. They're tackling each other. One of them was whispering into the air before they started the game. I'm like, you can go and give him a hug. You've just
I didn't say I saw the goal. I saw some of the goals and stuff, but didn't say I saw that they went up to the yellow wall, Brucey, didn't they, to celebrate in front of their alleged fans, their fictitious fans, which was pretty cool, I thought. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of tonight. I'm not going to watch all of it, but I'll put it on record and just whiz through some of it. Interesting point that I heard the other day from a brilliant podcast, which I think I sent to you.
Yeah, you did.
Rory did with John Huggan and Lawrence Donegan, which was brilliant. And Rory was very candid, very straight, and very mature. And he said it was he that instigated that they first live match that they definitely should not be using buggies.
No.
He insisted that they all carried the bags, whether he takes half a set or whether he takes a full set. They're going to play at Seminole, which is apparently a really nice golf course, which you can only carry your clubs on anyway, I think.
So just to get that right, so they've got no caddies tonight. They've just got their own clubs. It's like basically like watching a 4-ball at your home golf club.
Yeah, fantastic. It'll be good. And it'll be interesting to see the pace of play. It'll be interesting to see the social distancing. And they'll be very conscious of all that because it's a global audience, isn't it? So this is everyone's big chance to sort of go, right, golf can be played and we're playing in 4s too. They're all carrying the clubs. It'd be interesting to see whether they're using lasers or whether they probably will use laser bushels, won't they? So they'll laser a flag and off they go.
Who do you think wins? Because the teams are Rory, DJ, Matt Wolf, and Fowler. Who wins?
Rory, every day. Every day for me.
Because there's gonna be some great golf on there, and they're raising money for like great causes, aren't they? It's all
they're raising money for the COVID-19 fund, aren't they, in America? So and they will raise a lot of money too. I mean, I don't know how much money they've set the target on 3 or 5 million, haven't they? Which is terrific.
Yeah, and everybody who watches golf will be watching this tonight. I know.
Yeah.
Like you say, I probably won't watch it all, but I'll definitely make sure I'm watching probably the last few holes. What time does it start over here?
7. So we've got half an hour. Got half an hour for you too. It's great. Listen, to get any live sport like you watched the football yesterday is fantastic, isn't it? So the more people we can get looking at the golf tonight, then more kids might get involved in et cetera, et cetera. So there's already, I think, we talked about it last week about will this, because people can't play other sports, will this give golf a bit of an upper hand over those other sports for people to get new into it? And we're definitely seeing more inquiries for memberships at the 2 or 3 clubs that I'm associated with, no question. So maybe this is just a bit of a fillet that golf needs.
But maybe we don't have visitors. Maybe we make a membership which is slightly different for maybe the summer and guarantees a bit bigger money at these places.
COVID visitors, COVID membership.
COVID members.
Do you want to become a COVID member? Yeah, that'll be £450, please, sir. Yeah, who knows? Listen, we've got to be inventive and creative.
So we've got another question coming in here from James.
Yeah,
James Cunningham. Would you be in favour of players using rangefinders if no caddies are allowed on European Tour?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's because that definitely speed it up, won't they? I mean, some players never get the yardages themselves anyway.
No, if it speeds play up, yes. The European Tour, I mean, the Challenge Tour won't have caddies, so they're going to allow them on the Challenge Tour. They're already okay to use on the Seniors Tour, on the Stay Shore Tour. Are they going to be allowed on the main tour as well? Listen, you've been there alongside these guys. You've caddied. It's great experience, and I would advise that to any up and coming pro. Go and caddy on the Challenge Tour for 6 months or a year to find out how good everybody is and what the procedure is. But you'll need a carry over a bunker. You'll need a carry over the water. What is the carry? It's not to the front of the green. It's beyond the bunker on the left and beyond the bunker on the right. There's only a certain amount of information you need. And you can have information overload, as you know. So if it speeds play up, then I'm all for that. Definitely, James.
But for me, I actually think it wouldn't speed play up, because if you're laser in a bunker, laser in this, laser in that, or you can just look at your book.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, it could speed play up.
Yeah.
If the player all he wants is the flag, probably the caddies are pretty sharp most of the time. But if it did speed play up, I'd definitely go with it, because that's how people play. That's how amateur people play. That's how I play. When I'm playing with my pals, I use the laser all the time. So it's nothing new.
So the last thing I want to talk about, and then we'll let you go because I know you want to watch the golf.
No, you're fine. I've got a barbecue.
Very nice.
On the go, so it's fine. Did you have any more questions, by the way? Because I know it's great to interact with some of these guys.
Yeah, I've got one more.
Go on.
Are we worried about? Are we worried about people overstepping the mark and this being seen, and then next thing we know, it's on social media? Are we worried about that? Do you think that'll ever happen? Do you think someone will try and dob golfers in?
You mean in terms of?
Imagine someone's a bit jealous. I'm guessing this is coming from, and thought, well, golf, they're able to do it. I'm not.
Well, we might, and I think that's why the clubs have got the responsibility. And every club I'm certainly associated with have got everything in place to shepherd people around in a safe way. And I've not felt unsafe at any of the clubs I've been to, and I've been to 4 different ones this week. I've only played 3, but I've been to 4, and all 4 have done everything slightly differently, but perfectly safely. So long as people are, it's a bit like, going to the park, isn't it? You make sure you stay 2 meters away. You can go to the park, but the minute someone invades your space, you either tell them or you move. And there will be people, and it's very easy to get in somebody's personal space, when you're not used to arm's length and a driver. Just keep a driver in your hand and keep pointing driver away. Get out. I don't think anyone's going to dub golf in. I think that I can imagine people being really jealous of golf and golfers and anglers. Not forget the anglers as well, and the cyclists. All right for them to play, but it just happens to be that's a safe environment, or a safer environment.
Yeah. And
we're in the outdoors and we're all getting out, so that's fine.
The final thing we've got to do is give a shout out to Hugo, isn't it? I mean, Hugo's a great character. When I was helping you do the junior coaching down at Lim, he is a great character. And he's coming on, you said? Yeah,
he's coming on great. Yeah, he's played a couple of times with his dad. He couldn't play yesterday because he was doing his homework. That doesn't sound like Hugo, does it?
Is that the right guy?
Yeah, same guy, yeah. And I know he was playing today. Yeah. He's coming on great. And so is Freddie, and there's young Freddie and old, big, tall, older Freddie who's 6'2" and 14 or something. It's a ridiculous distance now, but can't find the ball half the time. But he's coming for a lesson on Wednesday, so we'll get him straightened up. Little Emmy is not little Emmy anymore. She's tall. She's 15. She's a young lady, and she shot 8 over yesterday, which was fantastic. Her best ever round. So listen, it's running fast, and it's great that they're out on the golf course. So, whatever.
Definitely. Drew, thanks so much for coming on. Been
All right,
great.
pleasure. Always nice to chat golf. Don't mind talking golf from now till next week. So, see you next week, maybe.
Yeah, perfect.
Right. Okay. See ya. Bye. Be safe, everybody. Enjoy your golf if you get out, and keep the questions coming in. I really like that idea.
Perfect. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us on this Sunday with Andrew. As always, we really appreciate all your comments and questions. Before you leave, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It'd be great to have you as part of the channel. So make sure you hit that big red button just down below. Cracking that, Drew.
Yeah, it's good. Very quick now, isn't it?
Yeah, it flies by like 30